Kidz In The Hall fans, stand up. Knowledge and Double O are back with a brand new project coming the top of November. AFH sat down with Double O for a few hours. He gave us the full rundown.
Of what I can say about the project, it is not, Knowledge has already been, he's already gone through an Ivy League, right? Like before our first album came out, he's kind of had that perspective. So school was always and has always been this dichotomy of you do well, you get good grades and all that sort of stuff, but then you're living this life and trying to figure out how to live this kind of cool, fun, whatever life. Because being just being black at Ivy League school is going to give you a different set of opportunities and lack of opportunities, and a different perspective in general. It's called Free Nights and Weekends, and it's much more in this idea of him being back in Chicago and kind of being like regular life. He has a kid. He has, his parents that he's now seeing every day because he's back, back in the area. And Chicago is not one of those places like LA where doesn't matter what you are and aren't doing, you're still in a little bit of the fantasy land here. It's a blue collar city. It's born and built and bred and built on blue collarness, Chicago specifically. So when you go back there, you kind of, and I've talked to this about it with crew members that we have with Lou that live in Chicago the majority of the time. They spend too much time at home. They kind of fall into like this, like, oh, this is what you do when you're in the Midwest and you're whatever. You end up going to these sort of bars and these sort of things, and your friends are doing this, and now you're hanging out with your friends at after hours events. You're not hanging out with them after shows, and you're hanging out with your, like you're doing. So I think it's that dichotomy that is talked about a little bit more than it is specifically school stuff.
Double O also says his goal was to make this project as cohesive as possible.
Try to really make something that felt like the same people all the way through. Because I've always seen weird comments where people are like, yeah, I really like that Double O verse, but that Knowledge verse wasn't really where it needed to be. And I'm like, yo, I don't rap. What are you guys talking about?
Visit kidsinthehall.co for more information. The full conversation with Double O coming in the coming weeks. For AFH, I'm Justin Hunt. This is Last 7. See you next week.